Yeah. She's not here tonight.
Yeah, we.
I'm in your. Sure, I don't know where.
All right, so if we're ready to start, and first thing you do, welcome everybody. Can everybody hear me okay on the screen? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess first thing we do is the acknowledgement of the land. This territory is a customary and traditional land of the Moosonee people since time immemorial. We acknowledge the sacred land in which the town of Moosonee operates within the lands protected by Game Bay Treaty Number 9. We are grateful to have the opportunity to make decisions at this table that will impact our community, Meekwich. With that, I'll turn over for a preamble from
For transparency, I'd like to remind all participants and attendees that this meeting is being recorded in accordance with the municipality procedures. In the event of emergency, please exit quietly this room and use the main door.
All right, we always open with a resolution. Again, we've been notified, I've been notified, and the clerk's been notified that there will only be 3 here, which we have a quorum, so we can proceed normally. So just for people, in case they don't see her, we have Councillor Naquity, Councillor Hunter, and myself, Mayor Wayne, at the table. Councillor Ryder and Councillor Tozer, I believe are out of town. Councillor Tozer is out of town. He notified us. Oh, Diane, too. Okay, sorry about that. I just haven't seen. All right, so resolution 2026 051. Be it resolved that this regular council meeting come to order at 6:03 p.m. Present, Mayor Tapewa, Councillor Hunter, and Councillor Naquity. Absent is Councillor Ryder and Councillor Tozer. Can I have a mover for this resolution, please? Fabian Naquity moves it, seconded by Susan Hunter. Are there any discussion opening the meeting? If not, all in favor? Vote carried. They're officially open. Welcome to everybody on the screen. And to the other people that are in the audience. I guess this is we'll do the motion for the agenda. I just forgot ahead of myself.
Okay, resolution 2026 number 2026-055, be it resolved that agenda be accepted as presented / amended.
All right, can I have a move for this resolution, please? Susan, seconder. Sabian, moved by Susan Hunter, second by Sabian Naquity. Are there any changes or to the agenda? I have one under motions. The airport, we were dealing with the motion when it comes up to do the stockpile of the soil that we discussed the last meeting. We'll be passing with a motion at that time, and there'll be more information at that time. Nothing, just for council's information is when we go into closed session, we have had a request from Waha to attend. We will have them on standby if you have any questions for them or at that time. I think the council wants to go in with in camera by themselves, what I understand. So just so you'll know.
And Waha's also doing a delegation, so there's also a chance to ask them questions after the delegation as well.
Right. So we will accept the agenda as amended. Any further discussion? Not all in favor. Votes carried. We will move right on to disclosure of pecuniary interest. Are there any pecuniary interest to disclose at this time? I don't see any. If there's any during the meeting and you have missed it and you wish to declare it, please feel free to do so. We'll move right on number 4, adoption of the minutes of February 24th.
Resolution 2026 number 2026-056, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee adopt the minutes of the regular meeting number 5 2026 or February 24, 2026 is presented / amended.
Thank you. Can I have a mover for this resolution? Fabian Hunter, Fabian McAfee moves it. Second, please. Susan Hunter, second. I should say Susan McAfee. Any discussion on our changes to the minutes of the meeting? You all had them prior. So no changes. We'll accept them as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, carried. This motion has been carried. We move right on to the presentation delegation. And I guess the first presenter would be I guess it's Waha with the temporary work camp.
Oh, it's Palmer, the temporary one. Oh, Palmer, right.
Oh, sorry, that's down there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Waha second.
Waha. Okay, so I guess it's the, is it Horizon North along with Parmelo? That doing the presenting?
We are here, we are present.
Anybody there from Horizon North, or is it going to be?
Amars, I think.
Well, welcome, Parmelo, and I guess it's to do with the temporary work camp, and you have, we prefer to keep it within 15 minutes. Again, we're not bound on that. And also the questions would be after you're allowed the 15 minutes. And if we have any questions, it won't be added to the 15. I guess we'll turn it over to you. So you have the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, the members of the council, other participants, thank you for having us. I'm Amar Pasic, representing Pomelo. I would like to present to you a proposal for the temporary camp for the project of Waha redevelopment, the new hospital, which is being developed on the Waha land on Percy's Way. Our proposal, I would like to maybe share the screen if that's possible. It would be maybe easier for online virtual attendees to see the proposal. In this case, we would like to propose to build the expansion of the camp on the project site, currently under development, significant progress made. As you can see, this is drone footage showing the current progress of the construction with the main hospital building in the middle and other buildings surrounding it. In this case, we have built phase 1 of the camp, which facilitates the core functions such as food services, recreations, and the limited capacity for accommodation of the workforce. Now, this was built in July 2025, and we have accommodated roughly 14,000 worker nights, meaning roughly ranging from 80 to 120 workers have stayed over the course of 8 months. This was a very good learning curve where we observed the behavioral pattern requirements in health and safety, requirements of the workers themselves who travel from different regions and work on rotation on this project. So we have gathered and assessed a significant amount of information which was generated throughout the 8 months of the camp that was operational. Furthermore, we have improved protocols and policies to address the worker well-being and disciplinary sort of requirements. And the layout of the current camp is within the hardened perimeter of the project site, meaning it's behind the gates, behind the enhanced security components such as access control, surveillance system, and lighting. And there's a significant amount of movement during the construction period. During the day, we are able to observe, monitor the 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 foot traffic of the workers as well as the vehicular traffic. Now, in regards to phase two of the camp, it will increase the accommodations capacity by another 200 to 250 people, reaching in total under 400 person capacity. For that, we have presented a proposal in August 2025 to the town council, where we wanted to use the rail siding site. This was August 12, 2025. After that, we have been looking into multiple solutions that could yield better benefits for the project's sake. In this case, we have assessed and developed and executed the earthworks portion of the project excavation, which required dewatering operations which required a very large retention pond for the water discharged. That operation of the earthworks has been completed within the year 2025, and the retention pond has been backfilled and has been prepared for additional use. In this case, we deem that the area prepared is sufficiently capable of handling the additional requirement of the camp, and we are proposing this location here. It is right above the Ferguson Road on the south, and it is within the project boundaries located here. As you can see, we'll go into a little bit of more detail to see the proximities, and furthermore, another aspect to it is that it is in a significantly closer distance to the core facilities, which all of the staff, all of the workers will be using on daily basis. So any other option that we explored so far, this is by far the closest location available today, which will help us to increase the worker safety, a very important subject for a general contractor such as us. In another look to it is that it will significantly improve the winter logistics, which we experienced with the camp and the construction operations in 2025, first time with an increased workforce. So far, we have, before the camp was operational, our workforce was around 30, 50 people. Now we are receiving craft workers on rotation, and we are experiencing multiple factors simultaneously. And we have encountered and experienced and learned from the first winter on the project site. This drone footage is actually showing maybe the month of November of 2025. It's all covered in snow, and it is very important to clear the paths of communications of the foot traffic, vehicular traffic within the zone where there is movement from workers and staff for health and safety reasons. Another aspect is that we have conducted a comprehensive and very detailed security assessment, which sort of demonstrates all the risks that we might encounter and have been encountering. We have rectified most of them. The perimeter security has been improved drastically. We have placed more than 40 CCTV camera systems. We have increased the number and the length of the fencing around the critical lands and areas and yards, in this case storage areas, etc. So this is an important factor for a couple of reasons. One, we have experienced a fire drill and we have experienced a fire alarm evacuation which requires that the teams on site respond to an emergency situation very quickly, and having one team responding to uh, two sites or sites that are in far apart from each other is a significant risk. Therefore, any available area that can be built within a more integrated, more consolidated approach would benefit us in terms of responding to emergencies. That includes also the external emergency services such as fire department coming through one gate and immediately responding to the location of the incident. Um, Couple of other considerations were, one of them is that Pomelo is a signatory to collective bargaining agreement. This project is fully unionized labor, using the fully unionized labor. Uh, we have consulted and received feedback from multiple subcontractors and their unions, and they recommend that a more unified approach would benefit us in attracting the best craft workers, which will deliver the highest quality of workmanship by having this consolidated approach. Otherwise, it might not be as beneficial because it will require us to source more and more individuals that require more and more policy and other um, other protocols being taught, and that would create security risks as well. So I have two more items. One is we have encountered roughly 25 black bears on our site. This is a unique project in that regard with Pomelo. We didn't have as much wildlife experience, and therefore we engaged the Ministry of Natural Resources. We have implemented their suggested recommendations and protocols, and their recommendation was to have the camp and the construction site operate with minimum exposure, meaning we should not be converting the camp into another attractant for the wildlife where they think they can find some food in times when they are searching for it. So having a more consolidated approach will be benefiting us. This also includes minimizing the exposure of the foot traffic, meaning we should conduct any kind of circulation of workers or staff on foot within the hardened perimeter, and everything is locked down. We have full body size turnstiles which will be preventing the wildlife entry, and also we have lighting and CCTV surveillance around to detect any kind of intrusion, including at the gates and in the remote corners of the fenced areas where human might not be walking around, but they might be using it as a sort of refuge, the wildlife in this case. Another aspect is something that also needs to be considered, highly important, that is a factor in our decision to build the expansion of the camp on the project site is the upcoming infrastructure works on the Percy's Way. It is planned, as we know, for 2027. We do not have the schedule yet, but in the event of the trenching of this road, it might create access constraints from different locations. Traffic pattern will change, and also the barriers will create detours. So in that regard, we would like to have all workers, all people working on the project within the perimeter under heightened, increased, improved security umbrella. So yeah, we also have Horizon North here, who have engaged the planner from the town side, MHBC Planning. they conducted a review with the planner to assess whether a certain type of layout can be accommodated within the project site. Now, the project site is constrained and very congested, but we have found a good solution that fits well. The solution here is that we would be adding a couple of smaller dorms around the existing camp within the same footprint of the site plan agreed before and for which the hold has been removed in the earlier sessions. And then we would like to place another 200-person capacity camp to the location here. Now, it is where the retention pond used to be built and operated, and it has been backfilled, and the site pad has been prepared for it. It is significantly within the project lot line, the boundaries. We have reviewed the setbacks, and they are compliant with the zoning. The height of these dorms is also compliant, and the distances to the local private residences is also compliant. The nearest house located is roughly 21 meters away from the first dorm, and most of the dorms are facing an Arctic corridor, which does not have any openings. So it's kind of another wall behind the fenced perimeter wall. We have reviewed the proximity to our building operations here. We have multiple buildings which will require some craning and other logistics. We are compliant with the Ministry of Labor and other regulations in that regard. And this portion of the camp would be placed here for roughly 2.5 years, and we would see how long we keep it here, but it wouldn't be kept after the project, the hospital project is commissioned. So yeah, this is roughly the idea we have, and we would like to propose this for your consideration. We also have Horizon North here for any technical questions you might have. Yes, this is the presentation from my end. Thank you for listening, and thank you.
Well, thank you, Francisco. Councilors, this is again the stage 2 construction camp. We had quite a discussion and had a vote on the rail siding. Now it is to move. We will be speaking. Our lawyer this has to go in with hold on it and what have been hand in hand. So tonight, but if you have any questions about the camp at all, is the time now to bring up our concerns. So I will go to Sabian first. I do have some comments after the questions. Sabian, I have no questions. Susan?
I did have a couple questions, but you answered them. I had a question about how long it would be there and like logistics about, it's just, everything is kind of squished in there. But the other thing I had a question about, and I don't know if they can answer it or not, is like the infrastructure, like the water and stuff like that. I don't know how they do that. That's because I'm new, but, like the capacity and stuff. I know we touched on that before, but I just can't remember how that all works. When you add another camp and then you connect it to the first one, like how does that work?
Susan, could I suggest that I have some questions, some information?
Yeah.
Actually, I met with a Parmo person here yesterday,
Okay,
and maybe you could answer the both questions at the same time.
sure.
All right?
Yeah.
I guess, Ms. Wayne, I had some concerns about the servicing of this property with water and sewer, basically. And I understand that they're looking at putting in there this summer and having it operational, hopefully by the fall. Is that correct?
Sorry, I couldn't catch the last part.
Okay, they're looking at putting it in there this summer and having it operational by the fall. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. My main concern is, and this has been brought up at another meeting that we were on with Waha on that, and it was brought up even when we were looking at the other site for the servicing of it, how is it going to be serviced with water and sewer? And I think that's what Susan's asking as well.
Yeah, I'm just explaining how that works.
So currently, the phase one is connected to the Waha's infrastructure on Winnebago Road. There's one location we can still connect with permission from Waha and the town. That is one option. Another option is to connect on Wavy Crescent Road, located roughly in this area. And the third option is these camps are built to be operational in regions where there's no infrastructure. So we could use holding tanks and hold significant amount of water and sewage as necessary. If it is connected to the municipal infrastructure, we can also regulate the release or the draw, depending on sewage or water, as necessary, as required, as mandated by the town. We can help with the pressure of the local infrastructure, but also we can regulate the hours when the black water or the sewage is released, not to overwhelm the local infrastructure. So all three are being considered and will be part of the functional servicing report, which will be among the deliverables with the SPA agreement that is required within the next steps.
All right, the reason I'm asking that is this has been brought up many times. Our lift station cannot handle even putting the first stage of the camp on there, put an extra burden on our lift station. I actually checked with the water plant guys on this as well. We are operating at 75 to 85% with 2 pumps at the main lift station. Right now, 16 hours a day without this additional building on there. We have to bypass when there's big rains or spring runoff and things like that. We have to bypass. They said there was no way that we can compensate or take this on, is what I've been told. And this is right from the start. And this even came up when we were looking at the other location. With the holding tanks, you're in a close residential area. As we all know, even with our lift stations, there is some smells that come off of them. If they have to be vented, there's going to be some smells coming off them. There's going to be smells coming off them if you're pumping them and trucking them. So we have to take that into consideration with the residents in that area too. So I hope that's all been looked at.
Yes, we are considering every angle, and we will further develop it with the engineers, and Horizon North and us will engage the proper authorities to confirm the capacities and the operation of this proposed system prior to submitting all the deliverables.
Right, so you're asking us tonight to make a decision when there's many unanswered questions for us that we have to deal with the public on. I'm not against the camp going there, but there are things that we have to look at, and we're going to have a discussion with our legal people in camera and that. But these are my concerns because again, we can't overload our system and keep bypassing that. Another thing is, it doesn't show anywhere on this drawing where the tanks are going or anything either. The holding tanks. So I have some concerns on those.
The layout is still under development. It's not fully developed. All the details would be developed after we receive proper information and engage the proper authority from your side to confirm whether the approach is correct and can be accommodated. I believe we will engage the engineers of the town to confirm all the capacities in the coming week, and we'll go from there.
And Francisco, why was that not done earlier when we had talked about the other site?
His name's Lamar.
Lamar, sorry, sorry. Why wasn't it like looked into before and some of this information provided to us before?
This particular, sorry.
We're on the hour again, and now you want to pass up and we don't have all the answers. Like this is where we're getting into problems. There's no communication.
We will engage with more formal and documented information the town, and I believe we would be able to provide all necessary information within 5 to 10 business days. And then we can perhaps attend another session when we can conclude.
Yeah, because we don't want to hold these projects up any which way. But when you're coming to us at the 11th hour with something like this, and we do have these, I'm saying concerns that we can overlook, you know, and it's been brought up already at another location. Why are we back, inventing the wheel again? That should have been all looked at like before you came with a presentation to us. Another thing is I have the issue is if you have a holding tank, this is just a question for myself, gonna have to deal. You're gonna have trucks to haul it to the lagoon or something. Nobody's even talked to us or, there's gonna be a fee to it. There's Ministry of Environment's gonna be involved with it, all this kind of stuff. We don't know anything about it, but yet you want us to say, okay, go ahead, put that camp in there. This is where we're falling behind. We wanna work with you all the time, everything, but don't come to us 11 hour. I mean, that's my concern, and when I got this on, I think it was Friday, I believe it was, or, I looked at this and I'm saying, well, where's all this other information? Again, we're not opposed to holding it, but we have to have answers, especially if this gets out to the public and the public are gonna say, I don't want to smell that in the air at my house, things like that. We have no answers for them. So I think we have to start to work and, again, we will look at it. We don't want to hold anything up, but let's work together and let's start to, I don't know how to say, give us more advance, notice of things. And, like, we're willing to work together in that, but I know our lift station, even before we put the phase 1 on or the houses on, we were almost at capacity at our main lift station. Now, another question I have for, I guess, you as well as with Waha, there's going to be a lift station, main lift station put in for the hospital. Why would they not look at putting that in and connect this camp to that lift station? That's just a suggestion. Because I've also looked and had talked, and this is not just today, but I've had down there in the past. Our force main, apparently our force main going from the hospital area out to the lagoon can handle the sewage and all that going out that way. So why would we, again, I did some research looking at, can we put bigger pumps in the lift station? We can't because the pipe at the lift station to the force main along Percy's Way is too small. So, I'm doing footwork here, finding out things like why wouldn't your engineers or somebody be looking at that too? And I would suggest, look at putting that lift station going to have to go in anyway for the, why not put that in, work to get that in first and hope this to that? That's just a question.
We will engage Waha and necessary stakeholders to do like a comprehensive assessment, whether we can use the future infrastructure, but also interim solutions can be developed. We will share more prudent information in the coming days for your consideration, and we will re-engage after that if that is acceptable.
Okay, no, that sounds good. Like I said, I'm just being open here and fair. And when Sue was talking about the servicing with the infrastructure stuff, I had the same concerns. So that's all I had. Like I said, we're willing to work with you, but we have to start to be informed earlier than. But I honestly, the way I personally feel right now, I can't make a stand to say yes, it's going to go in there or not. I'm going to look at everything and think about it, and also, discuss legal everybody. So and then. It's up to council too, to have any more to add to it. So, any more to add?
No, all good.
Sabian? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just wondering again, sort of what kind of fencing and security measures are going to be there along Wavy and Ferguson?
There are permanent fences, roughly 3 meters tall. They're all embedded in concrete foundation. We will have CCTV surveillance system all around the perimeter, looking at the perimeter, not outside. looking at the intrusion, detecting, and also deterring and denying the entrance. There will be some lighting around the fence, and there are no gates on this side of the site. All the gates are on the Percy's Way. So all the access control systems are on Percy's Way, and one access control for pedestrian is on Winnebago Road.
Anybody else have any questions?
Sorry, this one, so is it a see-through fence?
No, we have proper hoarding as it is on the Percy's Way. And in some cases, we can increase the privacy screening as necessary.
Okay. Thanks.
No, like I said, I don't know if you guys have any other questions, but I know there's a lot more work that has to be done on this. And like I said, we had brought up many of these items at the other location, so it would be the same here. I'm just quite surprised that none of that has been taken into consideration.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so if there's no other, we will move on to the next one. And I guess that's with Waha and Jen and team virtually. So welcome, Jen.
Thank you, Mayor Wayne. Thank you, Mayor Wayne, councilors, staff for allowing us to come and present today. I'm joined with Lynn Innes, CEO of Waha, and Sandra Kioki, Senior Vice President, as well as David Steiner from IO. If there's any, specific questions that he can address as we go through. Essentially, we're here today. We brought a delegation the past couple of council meetings to discuss the urgency to lift the SPA hold and secure building permits for the Waha redevelopment site by March 31st. And Pomerleau, our partners on the project, have issued us a notice letting us know that that March 31st date is very important for them to receive permits on the project and lift that hold. Otherwise, Waha will be subject to delay claims on the project, which means we would be incurring costs due to Pomerleau not being able to enact key project deliverables, mainly starting to erect the panels on the hospital site. So we need a building permit to do that. So we've been working closely with the town's legal and consultants to understand the requirements by town council to lift the hold, make sure that there's comfort with the commitments that Waha is making on infrastructure capacity, as well as funding for the capital costs for this infrastructure capacity. So we understand that there's three key conditions that have to be met in order for there to be a recommendation to lift the hold and issue permits. The first being site plan approval of the recent site plan approval. So we have submitted that. Pomerleau has submitted that, and understand that's under review with RSM. And if there are any questions on that site plan review that need to be addressed by Pomerleau, happy to receive those comments and address them by the deadline. Second condition being that Waha fully commits to funding the capital costs of the infrastructure. We previously provided a letter of intent to council. We have made revisions to this letter of intent, understanding the feedback from council was that it wasn't a strong enough commitment. So Waha's legal and the town's legal have worked on strengthening the LOI to have binding clauses to give town comfort that Waha is 100% committed to funding the capital infrastructure costs. And frankly, we need to have that infrastructure in place to support the new health campus. It can't operate without that infrastructure. So we again reiterate our commitment on that front, as well as the third condition, which we also commit to maintaining the town of Moosonee's infrastructure capacity. So we fully acknowledge that the project will not decrease the town's capacity for water, sewage, etc. The improvements will increase the capacity for the town. And again, as I mentioned, the campus can't be built without the supporting infrastructure. So we fully commit to that, as well as providing a servicing plan once the design of the offsite infrastructure is complete. And then on that note, we have received the town's feedback on the design MOU that would facilitate the design work for the infrastructure proceeding by Waha and the town's design consultants for the offsite infrastructure. So we have made those amendments and feel that we are in a good position to move forward with that infrastructure. And important that we do so shortly, as we have a contractual date to have some of the site connections available to Pomerleau in 2027. So important that we start this design work and get those projects underway. So as I mentioned, I feel that, Waha feels it has met the conditions to lift the SPA hold and allow the building permits for the hospital campus to be issued, and happy to take any questions on those conditions or those items that I've walked through.
Thank you, Jen, and Councillor, you all had this read through it and discussion, because we did have a quite discussion the last time. There was a resolution put on the floor. And again, we will be meeting with our planner and our legal in camera, and that's when I said Jen would be what that time she'll be on standby. We can let her into the meeting. But again, I think there's been big positive steps gone forward here. And another thing that we spoke at the last meeting, we do not want to hold this project up any more than we have to. Again, there's going to be give and take on both sides, and I hope that we can work and get this, because it's the 31st of March. Is that correct, Jen? The date that we're looking at?
Yeah, 31st of March, by which we have to have the SPA hold lifted and the building permits issued.
Right, and this is just for the design, is it?
No, this is for Pomerleau to begin erecting the panels on the hospital site, and also continue the other design work or construction work. The design MOU is for the offsite infrastructure. So they're two separate issues, the most urgent being the permits and SPA hold, but given that we were ready with the design MOU edits, we brought both issues forward.
Okay, so I got them kind of mixed up together there.
It's a bit
But,
confusing.
So this is so that the holding on the building permits can be issued, is
Yes.
that correct?
Yeah.
Just so council is clear.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, we did have quite a discussion the last time, and council went ahead and we put the resolution to move forward. And again, when we deal with it tonight, after in closed session, if we decide to go on with that resolution, will have to be rescinded. So long as council is aware of that. All right, so it doesn't mean that we are totally bind or bound by that resolution. There is ways that we can go around it. But once a resolution is presented, it basically stands until we rescind it. All right, Susan, any questions for Paul?
No, I don't. So I don't have any questions.
All right, Sabian? Okay, I don't really have much questions. I've read the agreement. There's some I do have for our lawyer, just for clarification for myself. And, but to me, what I see in there, it's more convincing to me than the first letter as well. But, so I thank you for all your work. And if you guys, anybody have any questions for us, but we will be dealing with it. And I think we're going to do a resolution after the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a resolution. Then
Are you guys also presenting on the MOU or no?
We can go through it if you like.
I would appreciate that, Jan, because.
Sure. Okay, let me share my screen here. Find this amongst my documents. Okay, so in terms of the changes that you would have seen from the last MOU iteration, we had discussed the importance by the town for the water treatment feasibility study and associated work to be consulted or to be undertaken by the town's consultant. And we agree to that change. So we have made that change in the MOU. Scope of work remains the same, just the split of work has changed. Like I say, the water treatment feasibility work going with EXP, which is fine by us. We've also included flushed out some of the details with the linear infrastructure upgrades. Understand that more clarity there was sought, as well as the scope of work for the water treatment plant. So we've included that. We've also updated the cost commitment from Waha to reflect Waha paying for the costs associated with the project management, legal, and of course the design consultant who would be undertaking this work and other associated costs that may be incurred by the town for the design. So we've committed to keep the town whole for that, and we maintain that commitment. And so we updated that here. We've also included the town as a partner for design review. We know that the town will be operating the infrastructure once it's built, and so very important that the town is involved in the design process and understanding what we're designing, approving what we're designing, because you will maintain it and operate it. So we've included those provisions. Yep, the costs, we agreed to pay for those. We've updated the dispute resolution to be a standard dispute resolution that you would see in any other contract. So we'll operate in good faith. There is an escalation in the dispute resolution should we not be able to reach resolution at a team level. So we have identified that, and like I say, it's routine, but and our lawyers have been involved in reviewing this. That is really the bulk of the changes that we have made since the last iteration. The rest of it is really just legal clauses that both parties have added in our standard legal clauses.
Thank you. And again, I did look at, it was Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, we did look at this again for the I glanced at it and I was like, there's a lot of changes. I appreciate it. To me, both sides giving and taking. And I know that the council was very strong that the water plant had to remain with the town. That was one of the real strong points that you all have said in here. So we could not bring it back to you without at least that being done, and then this other stuff. But if you have any questions, council at all, now's the time to ask. This is for the site infrastructure, which is the water and sewer, basically you want to call it that way, the water plant, the lift stations, pipes, that kind of stuff again, so. And we've been very fortunate that everybody's been working, and we have the two little groups that work together as well. And there have been some changes like the pond, the location of the lagoon thing like that we've talked about before, so everybody's working together to try to find the best solution for not only the cheapest solution, but for the long, that will affect the whole town as well. And I thank, again, Jen and them for, their team and everybody for working together on that. I think, we're moving straight forward the best we can. Yes, council has some questions. And sometimes I forget they're not up as much as I am because I do sit in some of these meetings and I do meet with our staff, so. But, council, do you have any questions? Sue? Nothing. Say again? No. So you both read the agreement, so we can, move on to that for the MOU tonight as well?
Yeah.
You're not, all right. So again, we'll be having a little discussion with our legal, but I think we're moving in the right direction. So if anybody else has any questions for us, please don't hesitate to ask. So I'm asking people on the screen. No questions? Okay, then. So thank you very much. And, again, we'll be dealing with it once we come out of camera, I believe. We'll be have some discussion in camera and then we'll deal with out of camera. So I think these subjects or these topics might be moving forward finally. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we will move on. We go to property standards, maintenance outfit, the RSM building consultants. You put up the next unit?
Actually Gerald's on,
Oh,
Gerald's on the line.
Oh, okay. Gerald, I will turn it over to you. Thanks for attending and I will turn it over to you.
Thanks. Thank you, Council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'm going to be talking about the proposed property standards bylaw. This is something that I've been working with the CAO on. She asked for an example of this type of bylaw. So I have sort of provided some advice to the town on a particular property standards bylaw. Certainly, this type of bylaw is something that's going to take some time in order to implement if the town has not had a property standards bylaw in the past. So in the past, the property standards has really been something that's been self-regulated by the citizens themselves. There's really been no sort of legal framework in order to look at how property standards are being maintained. So I think with council's consideration of a bylaw like this, you're really looking at a couple of things. You're certainly looking at some resources in order to allow a staff person to be able to deal with the property standards bylaws, because you're going to start when the public sees that there are property standards, you're going to start getting some people inquiring, you're going to start getting complaints, and so you're actually going to have to get out and engage the community. One of the things, of course, that's always difficult is change in a community. So I imagine that something like this would take some time in order to implement. So you'll notice that the actual property standards bylaw, the document, the proposed one, has been in your package. I'll just go briefly over some of the sections that there are. Generally, property standards bylaws are adopted by many municipalities in Ontario. And of course, this is sort of a general format. A lot of the basics come from the Building Code Act. On how to set this particular bylaw up. It gets involved in exterior standards, drainage, storage, outdoor storage, dilapidated vehicles, lawns that aren't cut. So there's a section that really talks about people maintaining the exterior yards of their property. It also has a section on rental. So if someone is renting, a landlord renting to a particular tenant, there is particular standards that need to be met. Now, generally speaking, the building code is only implemented and building permits for new construction or renovations. It doesn't deal with maintaining buildings. And so that's why this property standards is sort of an additional step after the building permit process, because building permits only deal with new construction and alterations, where this particular document would deal with standards and after the fact maintenance. So when we have tenants and landlords, of course, we're going to be dealing with that landlord's obligation to provide a certain level of standards. The building code, when it was first built, wanted something, but this would require it to be maintained. Plus, you have infrastructure in the town, houses, buildings that have been built many, many years ago, which may not meet the code of today. But of course, this requires them to bring it to a certain standard, having a toilet, having a sink, having a laundry facility, stuff like that. Building maintenance is the next section, which may generally everybody has to maintain their building, keep the siding on it, make sure it doesn't leak, make sure it doesn't look unsightly. Vacant buildings is another section. If you have certain buildings in town that are vacant for a certain period of time, this obligates the owners to hoard the building. And in some cases, over 2 years, they have to either fix it or tear the building down. So there are some options for vacant buildings. There also needs to be a property standards officer in the township. So you would need to appoint someone, a staff member to be a property standards officer. And this person, of course, would deal with the administration of this bylaw, investigating complaints, talking with the community, helping them understand this bylaw. If it needs to, issuing orders to get compliance or going to court if necessary. There also needs to be a property standards committee. And so this would be at least 3 individuals appointed by council that would act as a bit of an appeal process. So if somebody disagrees with the property standards officer's directions and orders, this committee can be appealed to. And then, of course, they can either modify, rescind, or affirm and confirm this particular. So there is some community oversight through this property standards committee. There also is an appeal period through the court system, which is in the bylaw. And of course, the last section talks about the issuance of orders. So if somebody's not voluntarily complying, the officer can issue an order. If they don't comply with the orders and they don't appeal, or if the committee confirms that order, then the property standards, the town can take measures to either fix the issues themselves, demolish the structures themselves, and then, of course, add this particular cost onto the taxes of that particular property. So that's sort of the general idea of a property standards bylaw. And I don't know if there's any specific questions. I can certainly do my best to answer them for you.
All right, I will have one question. This standing committee for this bylaw, does it have to be council members or could it be just somebody with a point from the public?
So the Property Standards Committee could be members of council or members of the public. It would need to be appointed for a term of council. So likely once you get the new council appointed after the election, one of the duties of the new council would be to appoint this committee for that term. And it could be all council, some council, no council, but it would have to be appointed by council.
Thank you, because I was just thinking there's so many committees and there are so few, like, you know, again, it's, you know, we sit on quite a few different ones right now. All right, thank you. Susan, any questions?
No, I didn't have any questions about it, but I did think it was a great idea. I do think it's a good idea.
Swear down.
Yeah.
I know you guys are excited about the property. so you-
I know, right?
One thing I'd say, like, I think it's a great idea because we have some very delicate situations in town, where, we have to have something where we can act on it. So I think it's a great idea, so.
I just have one thing too. Is it mostly complaint driven, Gerald, or like does the officer go about looking to rectify issues, or is it mostly like people complaining and then she addresses them?
Typically, it's complaint driven. So, certainly that's typically the way it works. I think that if you're looking at implementing it, I think there's a couple of things. Number one, understand that there's going to be some learning curve and there's going to be some resources that's going to have to be invested in this. And council needs to be ready for the input from the community. It's a change, and I think if you have to be ready to say this is for the best of the community, and that I understand, we want to do this in a very customer service friendly way. But certainly you will realize that this is it usually isn't an exciting thing to enforce. It's exciting for the town to, of course, be cleaned up and have certain standards, but there is going to be some growing pains as you get the community up to that standard.
Okay, no further questions? That then, thank you, Gerald. Do you have anything for us? Anything else? That's, good. So thank you very much. I think it's up now. We're looking, looks like we're reporting, so we'll move forward with that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Don't have a motion to do so. No, we'll bring the full bylaw for the next meeting.
Yes.
Right.
We will move on to the annual report for the water wastewater system. And for now, he's no longer with us. I wish him the best. Yeah.
Resolution 2026 number 2026-057, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of Town of Moosonee receive the 2025 annual reports for water and wastewater system as prepared by the Veolia Water Canada Corporation.
Can I have a mover for this resolution, please? Susan Hunter moves it, seconder. Adrian Nafferty. Are there any discussions on this? Nearly one that we pretty well do. There are some recommendations and different things in there. But again, I think we always kind of support them when they want to do certain things. So, unless we see something that's not being done or a real red flag, I think they're doing a super job. They have a new guy there, actually, who was here years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's another, came in today with him.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, another person came today.
And they, yes, so I urge you to go down and meet them and speak with both of them.
Okay.
All right, so if there's no further discussion, we will vote on it. All in favor? Votes carried. The guy that came in today, he worked part-time for leave in the past. Read the information. So he's familiar with that.
What was his name?
Well, the one guy who's here now, his name's Faye. And then the new guy, I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either.
He just came today. I didn't see him.
Oh,
Great, so we will go down to the fullest funding and support. In Victoria, that's turn to you.
Yep, so this was something that we had discussed, I believe it was when we were, talking about the municipal project manager position, I believe 2 meetings ago. So part of, us making that change was to basically, have somebody that's gonna be like a town representative, regarding the Waha redevelopment project. Again, with my leaving the town, there's gonna be a gap to fill. And this type of position would give power to the project manager. That's one of the gaps that we're experiencing now, is that we do have a project management firm, but they don't have the power of the town to be able to make mid-level decisions. They have to filter it back through a town employee. So how does that look when I'm not here? We don't know. So in this case, I did speak to Jen Simon about it, and I said, we're already receiving some support to go towards our project management company. What if we go and hire this full-time staff and basically apply to the project for funding to help support this position? And she said to basically write a proposal, so that's what I did. I just wrote a little proposal here for your review. And then if you guys are good with it, then I will push it along to Waha for them to review. And then it'll go from there on what it looks like. But this would be to basically pay for 2 half positions, half of the municipal project manager, and then also half of the administrative assistant. But it's mostly a lot of numbers in here.
Yeah.
That's what they really care about.
Further discussion on here, being looked after most of the big projects. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's why it's a half-time position that I'm applying for, because this person ideally spend about half their time working on the redevelopment project, but then also spend the other half of the time working on other projects for the town, such as the airport lighting project we have going on. There's a project going on at the arena, there's a few other projects going on in the town, so this would kind of fall under that person's purview, and they could oversee all of the projects going on in town. And I mean, obviously, over the next few years, that's probably gonna be quite a few projects, so this would be a really great position to have.
And we, discussed this person have to be educated.
Yes. Yeah, you would be looking for somebody with an engineering background as well as a project management background, which is why the salary is where it's at.
Yeah.
I did do some research on what would be an appropriate salary to offer, and it would also be a hybrid position, so this person would come in as a community, ideally to on to off.
As you know, we have a few big projects going on, not only the hospital, but we have the Walden Road.
Yes, that's
Water,
coming up as well.
the airport lighting.
Yeah, and we're gonna be looking at applying for paving down at the airport in the next few years as well. Which is gonna
So,
be a big one.
I guess I think we don't have a resolution. I don't believe on it until the week. No, so this is just.
Yeah, it's kind of just operational at this point, but, if you guys are good with me putting the proposal to Waha, then I'll just, again, push it on to them for their consideration.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions. Oh,
Okay. Dave, any input on it? Okay, I'm fine. That way, another thing is there'll be more consistent with the Waha project going to be for 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
So we'll continue and they'll be right up to date. So we don't have somebody new every time or.
Yeah,
All right, so that's good. I guess the direction is.
okay, we'll move on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so we want to go down to business, writing none. Issue none, so we have the motion for the property out at the airport for the contaminated soil. Stop.
Yes.
Resolution 2026 number 2026-058, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee acknowledge the report and plan from ROAR as presented on February 10, 2026.
Can I have a mover, please? Fabian, not to be moved, seconder, Susan Hunter. Oh, I'm just quite a discussion about this. This is just formally given, that property for a temporary storage site. I guess that's way to just going to put it down, so.
Yeah.
Any further questions? All in favor? Carried. All right, and now to authorize a bylaw, authorize the signing of an agreement with the IDT and town of designate signing authority.
Resolution 2026 number 2026-059, be it resolved that the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee approved bylaw number 3-2026 being valid to authorize the signing of an agreement between CIBC and the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee to designate signing authority for council and administration staff, being read the first and second time, read to be read the third time and finally pass.
Thank you. Do we have a mover, please? Susan? And seconded, Stephen seconded. Again, this is basically, as we know, we're leaving, Victoria and we are losing, Shelley. They're assigning authority for management. We have two counselors and normally it's one management, and one counselor assigning the checks. This is just involving in assigning. Any further discussion on this? All in favor? All right, new business, there is none. Councilor announcement, update and discussion, there is none. Closed session, so we will be going into closed session. And then we have our, we'll have our lawyer and, now, Janet, you wanted to, if you're still on there, to stand by?
Oh,
Yep.
it's a different. It's sorry, Jen, it's a different
Oh,
link.
different, oh, sorry.
Okay, do you want me to join the link or do you want me to just be on standby?
I think you could join the link after we, our discussion, right?
Yeah, there's something else in the agenda before you, so if you want to, I can send the link and then I'll just text you to join.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for coming.
Yeah, everybody, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. You can.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just got that.
Oh.
Like I found about it, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Sorry, that. The first one, well, Shelley said she's gonna stay. You're staying. Right, you're staying too. Okay, never mind. Well, yeah. She's gonna stay for, even though it's the show. Do you have the mouse? Or I guess I don't need the mouse. Okay, I can suffer with the pad. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so you want me to stop this?
yes, I saw you a couple times.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Stop recording.
good. I know.
Wait, are we supposed to go into camera first?
Yeah, we.
Yes.
Okay, you do that.
I know, isn't it great? I went down a couple nights and quite recently first.
Resolution 2026-060. Here we go, that's its meeting moving to camera at 7:13 p.m. For the purpose of discussing personal matters about identifying an individual, including municipal employees, position, plans, procedures, criteria, or instructions to be applied to negotiations. Can I have a mover? Susan moves up. Fabian, you seconded? Yeah. All in favor of going to camera? Both carried.
Okay, now I will stop.
Resolution 2026-061. Be resolved that this meeting is on camera 9:21 p.m. and was moved by Susan Hampton, second by Fabian Nat. Any discussion on moving out of camera? All in favor? Both carried. I guess the next one we're going to deal with is you can rescind that motion.
Is that a motion now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we said.
You have to,
Yeah. First time.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
because you can't change something. to grow.
Yeah. If I truly think they don't really mess, right, the words. They know you know the words.
Rescind the motion.
Town's corporation, town.
Six, yeah. What is it? Do you know? I'll just find.
We're not zero, there two, it's not dated, it's a number, motion number, that. Did you think down stairs?
Yeah.
So you see, that's why.
Okay. Should have something, like something like this or something, or have your family saying yeah too much, especially some kids.
Okay, voluntary motion for resolution.
Resolution 2026 number 2026-062 be resolved that the Council of the Corporation of Town of Moosonee resends the motion number 2026-052 dated February 24, 2026, effective immediately.
We have a mover, please. Fabian moves it, seconder. Susan Hunter seconds it. Any discussion on this? If not, all in favor? Opposed, carried. All right, and then we just go forward with the next resolution, right?
Yes, yeah.
Do you want to do the
Doesn't matter.
minutes?
Do the minute, I think do the minutes at the end.
The minutes, okay.
Yeah.
So which one do you want? No.
You can do the LOI first. if you want.
LOI. Resolution 2026 number 2026-063. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of Town of Moosonee agrees in principle with the letter of intent from WAHA regarding their commitment to fully fund the offsite infrastructure as presented, or with these changes. Section 3.2 to say shall instead of intent. Section 1.12 remove approval, add to ultimately be given by the town which has not yet been granted. Section 8.1.2 change CEO to chair of the board.
I have a mover. Susan, seconder. Fabian. Mrs. Hunter, second by Fabian Mack. Any further discussion on this? All in favor? Opposed, carried.
The next, Resolution 2026 number 2026-064 be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee agrees in principle with the design memorandum of understanding from WAHA regarding the offsite infrastructure as presented or with these changes. Section 11, add after legal cost, MOUs cost sharing agreement, etc.
I have a mover, please. Susan, seconder. Fabian. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, carried.
The agreement.
Oh.
Right, all right. Resolution 2026 number 2026-065 be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of Town of Moosonee hereby directs and authorizes the mayor and treasurer to execute the fixed term services agreement subject to the revision discussed and approved by council.
Then I have a mover, please. Fabian, seconder. Susan. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Opposed, carried.
I was through, so we. I know. All right, so next one is.
The minutes, the resolution 2026 number 2026-066 be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of Town of Moosonee adopt the minutes of the closed session number 3-2026 of February 24, 2026 as presented slash amended.
Have a mover, please. Fabian, seconder. Fabian.
I just remembered we didn't do all of the topics.
Yeah,
What?
I realize that now too.
What did you do?
We didn't do one of the in-camera topics. We just skipped the part.
Oh. Was it the whole project manager?
You want to go back into camera?
What do we have to do? I think we have to, and we don't want to. I'm just kidding. It's on there, so you
I
have.
mean, we're gonna have we have a special there on the 24th and discuss it then.
Yeah, putting it on.
Okay.
Council, we could just do these two topics on 24th.
Right.
Okay.
Resolution. 2026-067. Be resolved that this meeting adjourned at 9:28 p.m. We have a move with Sagan, second, Susan. All right, no further discussion. We'll vote on this. All in favor? Adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Stop that.
Rather be. I want to approve the meeting.